Hey mamas, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dami Lola, and in this video, sis, I'm gonna be talking about what I love about being a young mom. A lot of people always talk about the negative side of being a young mom. They can't travel, their life is stopped. They can hardly make any mistakes, the financial burden of being a young mom. But I want to talk about the positives. Why? Because I can and I will. So, a couple of positives about why I love being a young mom is that it pushed me. Let me give y'all a backstory. So, I graduated with my bachelor's in 2019 of May. And prior to having a child, I don't know why we're conditioned like this, but I was conditioned to think that the highest that I'll ever make is probably like 50,000 if I'm lucky. But with lack of experience, no internship skills, I'll probably make around 45 is what I conditioned myself. And I was like, but that's okay because I work hard, grind, continue to put in overtime, and then eventually I'll get where I need to be, right? But when I found out that I got pregnant, I was like, hell no, I cannot survive on that. What? I have a whole child to raise. I have daycare fees to pay for. So during the summer, I was working at this summer like camp kind of thing. And literally when it was time to introduce myself, hi everyone, my name is Dami Lola Fagbone and I just graduated with my bachelor's degree in accounting. So if anybody's hiring in accounting, please let me know. I have my resume in hand and I'll be passing it out. I kid you not, like everybody knew me as the girl who graduated with her accounting degree. And like honestly, God's favor, somebody that I was working with knew somebody in an accounting firm that just had a baby around the time that I had a baby, and they were talking about babies, and he was like, there's this girl that always keeps talking about how she graduated, and I don't remember his name, but shout out to you, sir. Like, you and your wife were amazing, like literally God sent, and I appreciate the both of you for sticking out your neck for me when you didn't even know me like that. I love y'all. But he was like, there's this girl that just had a baby around the same time that you had a baby, and she keeps talking about how she graduated with her accounting degree and she's looking for a job. Do you have any openings at your CPA firm? And the man was like, yeah, we do. We always hiring. Let me give you, this is my number. Tell her to contact me. I contacted him. I was on my hustle mode and I ended up making like 11, yeah, like 10 to 15,000 more than what they told me that I would graduate college with, all because I was pregnant with my child and a young mom at a young age. If I didn't have my child, if I wasn't a young mom, I don't think I would have pushed myself that hard. I think I would have been very content with making what I would think that I was going to make coming out of college and just grind because, I don't have anything else to do. Another thing that my son like literally did for me, well, I wouldn't say did for me in a way, but like another reason why I like being a young mom is that it gave me oomph. It gave me guts. So I was working at my first job as an auditor, and if anybody knows anything about auditing, it's time intensive, especially during busy season. You're putting 50 plus hours in. I loved auditing. Don't get me wrong. That was my first job. Like it was something that I loved to do, but I wasn't able to spend time with my child, and that is something that is very, very important to me, especially as a single mom. It's bad if like I felt some type of way sometimes when I would come home, my sister picked him up from daycare and he'll be sleeping. Like I didn't get no mommy time. We didn't get to talk. I mean, I know you can't talk, but like I wanted to talk to him. So I made the decision. I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. I'm grateful that you gave me this job, sir, but I gotta go. And I found another job that paid even more, but that gave me that flexibility to, spend time with my son. And I was coming home before it was dark outside and I was able to pick up my son from daycare. And it was just like, again, if I didn't have him, I wouldn't have that oomph to be like, Yeah, this is my first job. Yeah, somebody got me this job. Yeah, I'm making more than, they told me in college, but I want more. I'm gonna get more because my son. So, like, yeah, and being a young mom made me really change my perspective, made me think about things that I wouldn't normally think about. For example, generational wealth. I was thinking about it, but now it's like in my face, like, oh my gosh, like these are the things that I need to teach my child. These are the things that I don't know that I need to figure out before he gets to that age where I need to talk about finances with him. I've reached out to like financial advisors and stuff. That's not something that you would do as a 22-year-old. Like what, how many 22-year-olds do you know that are reaching out to financial advisors to talk about their own finances? How many 22-year-olds do you know that are looking for houses to make into an investment? Like he made me grind hard. Like there's so many things that I've been thinking about that I'm like trying to put into place for him. And if I didn't have him at an early age, I probably wouldn't have been thinking about that at an early age. Like I would have a concept of it, but it would have just felt like it was so far away, if that makes sense. Yeah, that was something that he made me do. He made me think about it. Like being a young mom made me really think about finances, made me think about generational wealth, made me think about my own finances. And on a really internal personal note, being a young mom made me think about my trauma. It made me think about why I do the things that I do. Why do I say the things that I do? Why do I feel this way when this thing happened? Like when you're like, if you know anything about kids, you know that they be running around and they don't listen. And they test your patience. I learned a lot about my patience. Oh my gosh. I thought I had patience, but he gave me more. Like, when you ask God, I really want to learn how to be patient. He's like, you're pregnant. Deal with it. I learned how to be patient, yo. I learned that I get agitated easily, and like what I feel all my emotions at once, and I just bleh, like it just regurgitates out of my mouth. And I would just see, like I saw the way that Christian reacted when I did that, and I'm like, whoa, why am I doing that? Why do I have such anxiety about things? Like, oh, don't touch this. Oh, where are you going, Christian? Oh, I hope you don't fall. Oh, like I just started worrying so much, and I'm like thinking about my traumas and processing my past and who I was as a kid and how I grew up. I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. But I get it now. Like he made me process my trauma. He made me realize the type of person that I am. I conquered my anxiety. I conquered my fear because of him. Like I wouldn't have done that as quickly as I did if I didn't have him. Hello. There's so many other things that I could go on and on about what I learned when being a young mom, why I love being a young mom now. Like I've accepted it. Is it something that I'm proud of? Not necessarily, because obviously there's still some times where I'm like, the ability to travel without figuring out who's going to take care of your child. The amount of money that I'm pumping into daycare that I could be using to save or invest or blah, blah, blah. But then again, oh my gosh, the way that I process my trauma, and I'm not as anxious as I was before I had him. Oh my gosh, I'm so financially literate now, well, more than I was beforehand, and I'm continuing to learning more. Wow, I have so much patience. Oh my gosh, I won't settle for anything when it comes to like what I want, my career. I literally graduated school in 2019. My bachelor's, I didn't want to get my master's prior to being pregnant. I got pregnant, I got my master's. And now I'm trying to get my CPA. Like I wouldn't have done things boom, 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 boom if I didn't have a son. Because to me, I was like, I need to hurry up and get these things before he gets to an age where I really need to buckle down and start communicating with him and teaching him things and educating him. And I don't want the excuse to be, mommy doesn't have time because she's trying to get her education to better our lives. So I'm going to sacrifice myself now to be in my child's life in the future. And that's something he taught me. Like, Woo! I'm sorry, I'm so happy because like when you process it and you think about it, like we always talk about the negatives of being a young mom. You can't do this, you can't do that, all this money. Oh my gosh, you're too young, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. Nobody is ready to be a parent. Absolutely no one. Even if you have 5 kids, your 6th kid would be different. I kid you not. That pregnancy will be different. That child would be, everything would be different. So whether you're a young mom, old mom, blah, 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 nobody is ready to be a parent, okay? Just because you're a young mom doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't have to be negative. Think about all the positive things that this child has brought into your life. Think about the things that you learned about yourself. Like what? Like that self-realization when you have a child? Like there's so many times where I'm like, that's why I do what I do. That's why I am the way that I am. Because, oh my gosh, like so many revelations because I had this child. It's amazing. The only thing that I want you guys to do is comment down below on this video why you love being a young single mom or why you love being a young mom in general. And if you're not a young mom and you know of a young mom, what positive traits came about when they became a mom? Like, what did you see change in them when they became a mom? And yeah, I'm doing this for young moms. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like we get enough love and support. I feel like a lot of young moms are shunned, looked down upon, and we need to educate, elevate, and motivate each other. And I just want y'all to see the positive side of like being a young mom and what you learned and how your mind shifted. I'm just so excited to see everybody's response. Like I just want you guys to go through that exercise with me that I did internally. Like I'm always thinking about the negative. What positive things did I gain when being a young mom? But yeah, I'm really excited to do this, to help someone, to hear all of your positive stories on why you love being a young mom or like what changed in you or what positive outcome came about. So yeah, let's go. Let's do this. I hope you enjoyed this video, mamas. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week.